Well, it's a big afternoon of racing here on Tuesday with the gold bullion as far as the Australian Pacing Gold is concerned, highlighting the very strong 10-event card, respective heats for the 2 and 3-year-olds. In one of the 2-year-old fillies events, I thought in race 3, number 1, Sarah Tarsloy would be very hard to beat, coming off a very strong performance last time out after looking a little bit unlucky in her particular heat of the Gold Tara. In fact, the driver, Chris Geary, is about to join me with an interesting little sidelight as far as Chris is concerned. Other specials on the card in race 8, Rocococo for Belinda and Luke McCarthy. The stable is just starting to roll out the big guns, and I thought Rocococo, back from a spell, would be very hard to beat after finishing 5th to Catalpa Rescue in the heat of the New South Wales Derby. Has trialled nicely, and then in race 9, number 2, Rock and Roll Hammer for Belinda and Luke once again, and did finish a very creditable 5th in the New South Wales Derby. Far from disgrace, trialled well and looks ready to hit the ground running. So 2 of the 3 specials on the card, both from the Belinda and Luke McCarthy stable. This particular gentleman may be able to shed light on all 3 specials, in particular the one for Michael Dolthoff in race 3.
Yeah, she's a beautiful little filly, Mick. She's sort of come along quite quickly, progressed through, and she's just still sort of learning a bit of ring craft about things, but sort of has a fair bit of natural ability, has really good speed, and I said her win at Bathurst in that Tiara Constellation. She got things wrong, probably wasn't entitled to win and was still good enough to do so. So since then, trialled really well at Penrith, felt really sharp. She's just progressing and learning every time. So she's a really nice filly, and I wish them all the luck.
Can you shed any light on Belinda and Luke's too?
Yeah, Rocococo, he's a beautiful horse. He probably just that Derby series might have come up a little bit early for him. I think last time he's not a complete furnished product yet, and a couple of his runs might have been even in the Simpson, and that he had a lot of merit to them, and he's a really nice horse. Got quite a lot of bottom to him, and I think after a bit of a freshen up, he'll come back quite a nice horse. And Rock and Roll Hammer, I drove him in the Derby when he was 3rd, and he just, I had the opinion, if he was sitting on the back of those 2 horses there, he probably beats them. So, his run had a lot of merit to it, and probably actually wasn't entitled to run 3rd or get as close as he did. So, he's a really nice horse and one I got a lot of time for.
Unfortunately, Chris, you're on the sidelines. Just when everything was going nicely, you were driving plenty of winners and some very good drives coming up. Unfortunately, what's the news as far as the hand issue was concerned?
Yeah, it's just the way it goes, and things happen, and that's racing, I suppose. But sort of just waiting on a few more results on it, and hopefully go and see a hand specialist soon, and hope it's sort of not as bad as what they might have initially thought. So we'll just have to wait and see and see what happens. But no real news at the moment. But hopeful that it's not as bad. But it doesn't look likely.
You're saying that there is a real chance that you may have to have wiring in the fingers? Yeah,
that's what sort of their initial thoughts were. They weren't overly happy with it at first look. So there's the possibility they might have to operate on that and put a wire in there just to make sure it mends the right way and whatever else. So it's not ideal, but that's just the way things go, and hopefully that's not what has to happen, but I guess we'll find out more.
We had another bad fall in Newcastle last night, the Friday night. Chris, in the opening event on the card, a number of drivers came down, and Robbie Morris and Josh Gallagher managed to walk away, but are both limping noticeably here tonight.
Yeah, it's just one of the things. You probably go 6 months, you don't see a single incident, and then you probably see 5 or 6 within a week, 2 weeks. It just probably reminds people that we are in quite a dangerous sport, and things can happen sort of out of the blue or just from nothing. So it was good to see that most of the guys there last night sort of walked away pretty well. I think I heard that one fella there, might have been Jason Harmey, got a bit banged up, so wishing him well, and speedy recovery.
Yeah, we certainly do wish him well. Chris, Jason suffered from the reports we've been receiving tonight, 4 fractured ribs, 2 crushed vertebrae, and also a punctured lung, and a very brave performance by Jason to get up and perform as well as he did to get away from the incident, but from all reports drove himself to the hospital.
Yeah, it's crazy. I suppose a little bit of adrenaline that kicks in, and you probably don't think things are quite as bad as they are at the time, and just fortunate that it probably wasn't worse, although those injuries are probably going to take a lot of time and a fair bit of pain. So like I said, just wish everyone all the best there.
Yeah, luckily when we have these racing surfaces as we do today, particularly the big tracks like Menangle and Newcastle, accidents thankfully are few and far between.
Yeah, they are, and I think we're sort of becoming a lot more Americanised in our racing. You sort of don't seem to see as much pushing and shoving as generally what we used to, and the racing's sort of generally not as tight too, which I think is only a benefit. Like I said, accidents happen and things can go wrong sometimes. So I think the more cautious everyone sort of are, and like I said, most of the guys driving now they're professional, and I think that goes a long way with that.
Well, while you're on the sidelines, your partner Ash Deloso will certainly keep the flag flying. She's going extremely well as well as a trainer and driver. Yeah,
for sure. She's doing a great job. She's probably happy about it. She got no choice but to throw her on and drive them all now. So no, she'll be happy about that. But she's doing a great job. Such a hard worker. She deserves all the success she gets, and she's driving really well. Driving with a bit of confidence, and it's like anything. You start getting on a better class of horse and the better quality, you're going to get better results. So as long as you just keep your head down and just keep working away. And like I said, she's only little and light, and they run for her, and she's actually reading a race good and driving good. So she can't be doing sort of too much more at the minute, but really pleased for her.
Well, Chris, thanks for giving us your insights into those runners on Tuesday, but more importantly, a very speedy recovery.
No worries, thanks, Mick.